Hey, it's Vince Ferrara. Post-game wrap-up after Tennessee loses at Georgia 31-17. Of course, the losing streak continues against Georgia. It's now 8 straight, and all of them by 14 points or more after this 14-point loss. It was kind of a role reversal for Tennessee. Started out strong offensively, scoring on their opening possession, moving down the field, looking good in doing so. A little wrinkle in the red zone at the goal line with a jumbo package and Miles Kitselman getting the handoff at his fullback spot, diving in for the touchdown. Tennessee got out to a 10-0 start, and then it was a 17-17 game at the half, and a nice response after Georgia had taken the lead with a couple of touchdowns. Tennessee took the lead back, and then Georgia would get a field goal late in the second quarter, and we were tied at 17. So still Tennessee in a good position, gets the ball to start the second half. Unfortunately, that was it in terms of points for Tennessee. And really the most surprising thing was we talked about, a lot of us did all week, about, hey, defense travels. And this is different for Tennessee this year, even though the offense wasn't maxed out or performing at the highest level. You got an elite defense that would give you an opportunity to win this game. That and Dylan Sampson. Well, Dylan Sampson did his thing. Of course, his 21st rushing touchdown of the year, over 100 yards again, just 19 carries for him. I thought they should have run the ball a little bit more with number 6. But then Tennessee was not able to get any of the deep shots down the field. Only one time did they throw deep, and that was to Dante Thornton, and it was well overthrown. So just not enough explosives offensively for Tennessee. But back to the defense, Tennessee really struggled in defending the tight ends. Georgia's 3 tight ends, 10 catches, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and really exposing Tennessee on the back end. And it's something that we have not seen Tennessee. Now, there's been times where they haven't defended the middle of the field, and certainly the tight ends attacked Tennessee there. But there were even times on the perimeter where the tight ends got loose. And then Tennessee's corners, Ricky Gibson, I thought, had a tough night. And even when Tennessee's corners were in good coverage, it didn't turn around to locate the football. So just not great execution from this defense. It gave up a season high in yardage on the season. Just not what we're used to seeing for Tennessee. 453 yards allowed. That's a season high. Tennessee 0 sacks and just 2 tackles for loss. That's not what this defense is all about, and really surprising. And I think what you're seeing is more and more as the season goes on, you're starting to see Tennessee missing Keenan Peely even more. The middle of the field, the lining up in the right spot. The red zone defense tonight was really disappointing for the Vols that have been so elite in red zone defense all season. We've seen them make stops and turnovers and all that kind of stuff. Not the case tonight. You saw guys looking confused, out of position, didn't have an answer for the calls that Georgia had, didn't execute. So just not what you're used to seeing from Tennessee defensively in a lot of different ways. So Georgia 5 for 5 in the red zone and really cashed in on their opportunities. And look, Carson Beck was back to his old self. And I know there's a lot of talk about all his turnovers and everything, but the talent and the ability was still there. Georgia's offensive line, which just came back against Ole Miss in its starting 5, didn't play well at all in that game. Ole Miss dominated them, but maybe another week together, give them a chance to click. They did a great job against Tennessee. And really very little pass rush and impacting Carson Beck. And that's, I think, what's led to a lot of his turnovers in the past was they couldn't run the ball and they couldn't protect him. Beck was comfortable back there. He still had a bunch of drops, but he was able to overcome that because Tennessee wasn't able to affect him. And I thought his run, his scramble, 14 yards in the first half, I think that's what got him going. He started just 4 of 12 passing. And then after that, went 21 of 28, including hitting on 11 of his last 12 passes. I mean, he was fantastic and threw for 347 yards in the game. So Tennessee just did not have an answer, and they weren't able to be explosive. We talked about it this week. I know I mentioned it. Tennessee could not win this game if it didn't have some explosive plays down the field. You can't just rely on your defense time after time and Dylan Sampson. Tennessee has to find ways to be a threat down the field. That has not been the case. You got, obviously, in the last game, got a couple of touchdowns, but took a step back in that area in this game, which certainly was disappointing. So Tennessee falls to 8-2, 5-2 in the SEC. So pretty much any chance of getting to Atlanta is gone unless there's complete chaos the rest of the way. But still a 53% chance, according to ESPN, their predictors, of making the college football playoff. So that is certainly a positive from that standpoint. The tough thing is now you're going to put it in the committee's hands if you take care of your business. UTEP next Saturday at Neyland Stadium in the final regular season home game, and then at Vanderbilt. You know Vandy is going to be geared up and fired up to try to ruin Tennessee's season, and they've been more competitive than people thought. So you can't assume on that one as well. And Tennessee has got to get better. Josh Heupel says it all the time. Good teams get better. I don't know that Tennessee got better tonight. They started out better, but the defense took a step back, which is very surprising. So we'll see what kind of adjustments Tennessee makes, how much they get right, and can build some confidence against UTEP. But a tough night on the road in Athens. Don't forget, post-game commentary and call-in show on Sunday Sports Sound Off tomorrow morning, 8 to 10 a.m. with Jimmy Himes and Tim Irwin. And, of course, all of our local shows on Monday will have a reaction to this game, starting with Sports Talk with John Wilkerson and myself, Vince Ferrara, from 6 until 9 a.m. and then throughout the rest of the day. A lot of discussion on what this means, what went right, what didn't go right. Nico's play, I thought Nico was solid today and just not able to create any big pass plays. I like the rhythm they got him in with those quick slants and the short passing game. He checked down through passes to either the tight end or Dylan Sampson. I like that element, but it can't be at the cost of hitting shots down the field, and they just weren't able to take them, and maybe guys not getting open. But regardless, I thought Nico was scrambling for his life. 5 sacks allowed. That's also a season high for Tennessee's offensive line. Really a tough night overall for the Vols offense, especially in the second half. All right, that'll do it. Post-game wrap-up after Tennessee loses at Georgia 31-17. Follow us on all the social, SportsAnimal991. You can follow me on Twitter/X and all of the socials, Vince Sports. And then John Wilkerson and I show Sports Talk each weekday from 6 until 9. We're on all the socials as well, Sports Talk on 991. Georgia defeats Tennessee 31-17. I'm Vince Ferrara. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon here on 99.1, the Sports Animal.